As week one in the trial of torture-slaying suspect Vanessa Coleman drew to a close today, jurors heard from a handwriting expert from East Tennessee State University about a journal that was found in a purse that's been linked to Coleman. The public has been aware for some time that the journal existed, and it's been thought that it would detail, or at least provide some detail or reaction to the killings of Shannon Christian and Christopher Newsom. On that front, it was a bit of a letdown. There was no direct reference to this fatal crime spree. However, it did contain the dates following the deaths with notations such as crazy and weird and normal, and referring to the great adventure she had in Tennessee.
1907, crazy. Last night was one of a kind. We stayed with a crackhead that is cool as hell. It snowed a little bit, but it's already melted. Let's talk about adventures. I've had one hell of an adventure since I've been in Big TN. It's a crazy world these days, but I love the fun adventures and lessons that I've learned. It's going to be a long, interesting year. Ha ha, Nessa with a heart.
On Thursday and again early Friday morning, jurors heard a series of taped statements that Vanessa Coleman gave about this crime spree. And of course, initially she denied knowing anything or being there, but eventually she began to provide details. The state on Friday afternoon presented a letter she wrote from the jail to her parents, in which she used stick figure drawings to try to explain to her parents what happened.
The next page shows a picture of a stick person appeared to be laying down with a notation, her hands are, and the book bag with, and I'm not sure of the word, says air mattress, legs binded together. Said her hands are binded together behind her head, and that's it connected to the book bag, and her legs were tied together also. And she was blindfolded with a towel wrapped around her head, except her nose and her mouth was uncovered.
That letter, its contents and her description of what occurred mirrors her final statements given to police. Jurors were very inquisitive today. They fired questions at ATF agent Bernie Wagner, who had been on the stand and under intense cross-examination for about a day and a half. They also threw a lot of questions at Todd Childress, who's the lead investigator for the Knoxville Police Department. A lot of the questions seem to indicate that at least some jurors are wondering why Vanessa Coleman is on trial and convicted ringleader Lamarcus Davidson's girlfriend, Daphne Sutton, is not. Sutton was inside the Chipman Street house for at least a brief period during the weekend of this crime spree. There's no indication, though, that she knew what had been taking place or that Shannon Christian was inside that home. She did, however, have some of Shannon's belongings, as did Miss Coleman. And the jurors in individual questions repeatedly questioned whether she was being held responsible or whether she could be held responsible. Other jury questions, though, indicated that they were not completely confident in some of the things that Vanessa Coleman said.
Did Daphne and Eric Boyd show up the same night?
From my understanding, yes.
To clarify, does that mean that according to her statement, she showered twice that night? Speaking of, I guess, Vanessa.
From my understanding, it was a long shower.
One shower?
Yes, from my understanding.
Okay.
She referenced being in the shower when both Sutton came to the house and another suspect, Eric Boyd, also arrived at the house. So we are seeing by the questions perhaps a bit of a split among this jury.